Hi everyone, welcome to our first semester of video and sound. And we're going to start our fall semester by focusing on sound. And before I begin our first lecture, I want to go over how or kind of where to find things on SLATE. And I know many of you don't have access at the moment, but when you do have access, I want you to be able to kind of know where everything is ahead of time. So here is our course. This section that we're in right now is in content. Content is where you'll spend most of your time. This has all of our kind of weekly modules. And within each module, I'm just going to move to our module for this Monday, you'll see that there is, this is what we're doing that day. There we have our real-time class meeting and check-in. These are completely optional. Except for the critique meetings. Critiques are happening both synchronously and asynchronously, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But for this week, you'll find, I'll both send email out our Zoom invite for the optional class meeting, and then also the link will be in SLATE. So you'll be able to find everything in SLATE, so it's really easy. Again, the meetings are optional and they're there just to kind of answer any questions, go over course content, workshop assignment ideas, which we can both do as a group or individually. So they're just kind of an open format and we can use them as we see fit each week. So the link to that meeting will be there, and for the first few weeks, I'll also email them to you just until everyone has access to SLATE. So this is where you'll find the content. In the first week, we have our critique group sign-up sheet, and you can find the times for the critique groups, group 1 and group 2, in the assignment description, and we'll move to that in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to go to our course outline first to go over what assignments are going to be due this fall. So we're in content, we'll go to overview. Overview has both our kind of the standard, more general syllabus, and I've also input all the assignments and the due dates. So you'll notice there is 3 listening responses, and listening responses, you'll find them in the weekly module, and they are a prompt that you'll be responding to, and you'll be submitting that to a discussion. And in that discussion, you'll also be responding to peers as well. So that's there. The second is our assignments. So we have 3 assignments. The first is sounding objects. And for each assignment, there's kind of 3 components. There is the upload date. So you'll upload your assignment to both the assignment and the discussion. And the first one is due on October 16th. So you'll notice you have a lot of time between the start of class, it's about a month, and the due date of the first assignment. And the length of time is there so that you can learn Adobe Audition. And I'll talk about that in a moment. So you have a month to kind of really develop your first project. And then, so that'll be due on a Friday. Then on a Sunday is when feedback is due. And I've input the submission instructions for, what submitting feedback entails. So you can find that in the module. And we'll look at the first assignment and the requirements just so you're aware. And then there'll be the critique. And the critiques will happen on Monday. And I'll note the critique times when we look at the assignment. So there'll be 2 groups. First group will happen in the morning. The second group will happen in the evening, the critiques. And these will happen synchronously in Zoom. So that's that. And each of these, the kind of 3 components, happens in both assignment 2 and assignment 3. So those are our 3 assignments. So you have 3 assignments and 3 listening responses due this fall. So let's go to our assignment. So then here's the rest of our syllabus. But really all of your content is in the weekly modules. So that is the kind of overview of both the listening responses and the assignments. So now let's look at an example of 1 listening response and 1 assignment. Okay, so let's go to the assignment first. So you'll see that, when there's a critique, the module will be labeled that a critique is happening. So you can kind of see that. Okay, so here's our module for our first critique of assignment 1. And I'll talk about assignment 1 in the lecture for Monday. Okay, so let's look at the assignment first. So here's the description of your assignment. So you'll find that in the critique module. And we won't talk about the specifics of the assignment, but I just want you to see where everything is. So then you have the submission instructions. So here you have the assignment, and that's where you'll submit your project. And then you have the discussion. So you'll submit in both places. And you'll see that you'll upload your sound project or audio file in SLATE. And I will encourage everyone to create a SoundCloud account. And that way you can just input a link into the discussion so that we can just click on that link and it'll take us directly to your sound file. Okay, so first component, submit the work to the assignment and the discussion. Second component is you'll write a 100 to 200 word artist statement that talks and describes your project and your ideas. And you'll upload these both to the assignment and the discussion. And that'll be due on Friday. Okay, so the second component, so we have kind of two components, the work, the artist statement. Third component is feedback. And then we have the fourth component, which is the critique. So you'll provide feedback to two classmates' work in the course of at least 50 words each. Then you'll respond to 2 comments made by your peers in the discussion. So there's kind of 4 comments in total. 2 is you responding to peers' work that they've uploaded. And then you'll respond to 2 other comments of peers, by peers that are made about work. So you'll make a comment directly about the work and then a comment responding to a peer's comment. So this is supposed to kind of take place in lieu of a full-scale critique scenario. So we're trying to create community both asynchronously in the discussion for critiques and synchronously on Zoom during the critiques. So that'll be due on a Sunday. What's the other thing I wanted to say about that? Yes. So you have 2 dates, Friday for your projects and Sunday is when you provide feedback, and then Mondays are our critiques. So for assignment 1, you'll see, where are my critique groups? Aha. The critique groups are happening in the morning, so that's from 10 to 12. And I made these kind of morning times to account for people's schedules. So if that time doesn't work for you or it conflicts with a class, then you can move to group 2. So we have group 1 is from 10 to 12, and then group 2 is from 6 to 8. And this also accounts for people in different time zones. And you're welcome to show up to both critiques, but you don't have to. The Zoom link to join the critique I'll put in SLATE, and that'll just be right here underneath the critique times. Okay, so that's how our assignments are structured. The second thing I want to talk about is the listening assignments. So you have 3 listening assignments, and I'll go to the first one when the first one is due. And the first one is due in week 3. And again, all the dates are in the overview tab here, in the summary of the dates. Okay, so in week 3, your first listening response is due. And here's the description of your listening response. And there's 2 components again to the listening responses. So your response to be 250 to 300 words, and they're responding to the prompt. And usually for the fall semester, you'll be listening to a sound work, or choosing from a list of sound works. You'll listen to that work and then respond to it using the questions that I've outlined here as a starting point. Ooh, and that I noticed that says skate. That should say SLATE. I'll have to change that. Okay, so you'll submit your responses and then you'll reply to your classmates' responses. So I've said that there is no limit on your replies. You could reply once or twice, but in total, I want you to kind of submit 60 to 100 words. So you could have 2 replies, both 50 words, 1 reply, 100 words. It's kind of up to you. If you want to write more, please feel free, but don't feel pressure to do that. So those are the requirements. And so to submit to the discussion, I'm just going to click on the discussion here. I don't know what you see, but so this is the instructor view. So you'll go to listening response, view topic, and then start a new thread. And that's where you'll create the thread that you'll upload your response to. Okay, so those are our listening responses. And, you know, as these come up, if you have any questions, you don't know how to kind of do something in SLATE, or you have questions about the Adobe Edition or equipment, you can always ask them during the real-time class meeting. So this is just an intro. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to content. So that's where you find everything. Oh, the other thing is video lectures. So almost every week, not every week, but for many of the weeks, I'll be creating video lectures that I'll post ahead of class time that you can watch before the real-time check-in meeting that is completely optional. And that you'll find those videos uploaded here. And those will be uploaded using links. So I'm going to create a Google Drive where I'll put all of our video lectures, input the link here, and you can just click on that and that'll take you right to the lecture. And all the lectures will have captions, so you can kind of move through them slowly or more quickly, whatever is your comfort level. Trying to think if I've left anything out. I think that's it. So before the meeting on Monday, the optional meeting, or in the first few weeks, please go through each module just so you can kind of get a sense of the course structure. And I look forward to seeing everyone or some of you on Monday. All right.